started watching the tapes of, like, Chris Daniels and Bryan Danielson, and I mean, like, you gotta realize, man, I'm going from wrestling like a couple months at this point, and like Samoa Joe, Jamie Noble, Bryan Danielson, AJ Styles, and I'm just like, and it went from there. And then I remember I got there and I saw Charlie Hollis, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is huge, and I was like, this guy's gonna kill me. Couldn't ask for a nicer guy. And I've been nervous so many different places. When I walked out to go for my first match in Ring of Honor, like, I wasn't nervous at all. I was like, I belonged there, you know what I mean? Like, didn't have that shaky legs, nothing. I was like, yep, I wasn't nervous at all. So it was cool, man. The PWG locker room's always been just really laid back, and everyone just having fun, you know what I mean? And like, and especially at this point, Mike, I can say that's a very appreciative thing, you know what I mean? But, there's time to do business, you know what I mean? Ring of Honor, is about doing business. And like, it was cool, man. Like, that's where, like, the company's changed so much, because it was like they were like an army when we got there. It was like, this is Team Ring of Honor. We're going to go out and we're going to show the wrestling world that if we're the best, we belong. And like, I remember that was the first main event I ever did, was me and Kenta versus Aries and Roderick. And like, and deep down knowing, like, man, I'm not on these guys' level yet. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, but I'm here. And you could tell, and like, those guys, they all helped me. And Kenta was really cool. And I'm sure he doesn't remember this, but I used to order videos from these guys, tapes, VHS tapes. I'm an old man. The Japanese culture is very stoic, very quiet, and so you never know if you're doing the right thing or just kind of like. First time I met Masala was in the ring wrestling, and like, he didn't come talk to you before the matches or anything, so it's kind of like, oh crap, yeah. So like, everyone else come talk to you, but like the older guys, like Kobashi was hurt my first tour, but Masala, the referee, would come talk to you. I have this huge reputation on wrestling as being a big a-hole, and it's because I'm so quiet, and it makes me seem like I'm standoffish and probably arrogant, but I'm really like, I didn't have any friends growing up, man. Like, so my social skills are not well developed at all. I'm really socially awkward. My fiance, first time I met her family, she's like, man, you just like froze up, and it's weird. Like, I can go out there and I can go in the ring and I can wrestle and feel at home, but like, put me in a group of people, whether it be like a bar, I mean, I'm sure fans can relate to this when they met me. I rarely look people in the eye. I'm very shy. I watched that CM Punk thing a while back. It was like his like little documentary thing, and he said something like really like hit a tone with me. And obviously I can't remember verbatim, but it was like, I'm a very going forward kind of person. Like, I have goals, and once I've done something somewhere, it's time to move on to the next goal. And like, that's me to a T. And he's like, hey, do you want to come be in the Super Juniors? And I was like, yeah. And then they brought me over a little bit before for one show, and it was, how they did things there was so much different, man. It was so cool. It was just eye-opening, man. Like, I was like, well, this is pretty cool, man. Like, New Japan, this is a real deal. So, oh, they were awesome. Great people, like to kid around and joke. I mean, it's funny, man. You think New Japan, like, man, these guys are serious and taking no crap. You got to be on the ball here. They were just having a good time, man. Everyone was happy, which really goes to show you, man. Like, when wrestlers are happy and having a good time, the product's always better. I mean, look at PWG. Like, they're on fire right now because everyone has fun there. I had saw Eddie on a couple Ring of Honor shows, and he had a shaved head at the time, and I was like, man, he looks like Davey Boy kind of. I was like, that'd be awesome, man. I really wanted to be in a tag team, and like, I was a huge British Bulldogs fan, and we did this tag tournament at Noah. He was tagged with Ricky Marvin, and I was I always want to call him Ricky Martin. And I was tagged up with Brian, like I always was. And we'd start talking about the ideas then, and started talking about it, and we wanted to tag. We knew our styles, like, and they was like, yeah, it was just like, man, we can do this. We didn't have a name then, and we first got tagged as the in Wolverhampton. We didn't have a name. We got tagged in Wolverhampton, England. You know what I mean? That's where we came with the name, the American Wolves. Like, when I first came in, it was during that CZW feud, which was huge, you know what I mean? So had it come down from there, well, yeah, because that was their peak, you know what I mean? But it's still, you had like Brian and Kent in that main event in New York, and like the whole Nigel, and then Aries come back and beat on fire, that was awesome, man. Like, no offense to Delirious, great guy, you know what I mean? It's not going to work, you know what I mean? Adam Pearce, great guy, not going to work, you know what I mean? Put Davey Richards in there, not going to work. You know what I mean? Like, it's carry on, Gabe operated. That's the way it works, man. And that is Ring of Honor. You know what I mean? And maybe there was other circumstances. I have no clue. But I know, like, my opinion, just my opinion, carry on, Gabe operated. When you lose, like, the General, which Gabe was like the General, kind of like how Heyman was, some of the fire was lost. I think that watered down the product. Last regime in Ring of Honor is the only time I've ever felt like you couldn't go talk to anyone. It was kind of like, just stay quiet and do your job. No, Pierce was cool, man. No problems. Me and Eddie are really laid back. Like, hey, man, because we do what we do, and then whatever you want to do, we'll work around it. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, C and Generico, their work speaks for themselves. Incredible, right? But they back and forth. So we got this match. It was the anything goes match in Olds Bar, you know. No, I'm sorry, submission match. And just going back and forth, and we're literally like going out in like 10 minutes. And they still haven't got their grant. And I'm telling you, I'm just going to strangle this guy. Like, I'm going to strangle this guy. Because they were just like, well, I'll throw 3 punches. Well, don't throw 3, just throw 2. I want to throw 3. Like, throw 4, make everyone happy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man. I remember that so vividly. If you ever do an interview with Eddie, ask him about that. Because, me and Eddie are real different people. Like, I'm really like, that was my first wake-up call to, like, now I'm having, like, lawyers from Ring of Honor call me, like, hey, we're going to sue you and this and that. And I'm just like, how the hell did we get here, man? Like, you know, literally one day you're just an independent wrestler, next day now you're being sued over things, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, the debate, we go into that a whole lot of detail, but, like, I can honestly say, man, like, the worst part of that was, like, I didn't want to hurt anyone, man. Like, and you're forced to, like, and, like I don't care what anyone says. I knew I was, like, the kingpin of, like, a war they were fighting, you know what I mean? And, like, I knew, like, Gabe was bitter, man, and rightfully so, you know what I mean? And, like, because that falling out, which I know nothing about, you know, I don't, you know, but, like, I know it was him, and, you know, being like, hey, look, I got your top guy, you know what I mean? And, like, Ring of Honor's like, this is our top guy, you know what I mean? And it was like, but he didn't say, you know, he didn't say he wanted a war. He didn't say he wanted to put them out of business. He said Dragon Gate USA, they were formed to put Ring of Honor out of business because they were pissed off about some deal that happened when Ring of Honor did shows over in Japan, which I have no clue what the hell happened there. It's none of my business, but all of a sudden now I'm the frickin' center on the front lines, and I'm supposed to be like the battle flag, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute here. I'm just going to go out and have good matches, you know? I've never hated Gabe. I've never hated Gabe. I felt bad that, you know, that, like, I hurt him. I've never been mad. I've never been bitter, ever. Like, dude, the crazy thing, man, I don't have bitterness towards anyone in this business. Like, no, I don't dislike anybody, man. The contract's main thing was that it was more binding. They included Evolve, Dragon Gate USA's, the shows you could not do. That was the main thing. No. So, it's wrong. It's not fair to the people. I mean, those are supposed to be big shows people are really excited to see. And that was a match I was excited to see. So, no, I went out there, damn right, I'm going to steal the show. You're absolutely right. I can do it. I know I can do it. I have the opponent to do it with and the crowd to do it in front of. I'm going to do it. You know, and that just, I don't know. It's, you know, even like during when I was champion, it seems like he just, you know, like once Steen got over, it was like, you know, like push Steen, you know, Davey, you're just kind of this dude, and yeah, you do whatever, yeah, bye. And, you know, and to be honest, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I was going, I'm just going to concentrate on New Japan anyway, so whatever. So I, you know, fuel on the fire, right? So maybe I'm wrong, but I just got the impression he didn't like me. It was cool, and plus, you know, it's like, you know, maybe it's a fan of me, but it was cool, like getting like tag advice from Cornette. You know what I mean? And, you know, it was cool, man. And he had a lot of passion towards wrestling that I hadn't seen since Gabe, or you know what I mean? Where like it was like that passion I talked about in the debate, where it was like it's like your strength, but also kind of your curse. You know what I mean? And it was refreshing for me. Best in the world, where I won the title, and we ever went and I had a contract. On the way up there, TNA called us, and he's like, it was D'Lo, and he was like, hey, we got this deal, we want to sign you guys, and I'm just like, oh crap, so I talked to Eddie, we don't know what's gonna happen, because we would have screwed the company, you know what I mean, like, you know, so, and Eddie only wanted to sign for a year, and didn't want to sign for a year and a half, and I told them, I was like, look, I'll sign for a year and a half if you give Eddie more money, and that's probably how it works in the corporate world. I'm not like that. Like I have to stand up for what I believe in. You know what I mean? And like, you know, that's where we are not going to work at all. The match with Elgin, everyone talks about that one. That one was really good. He made that match totally, man. And yeah, we want to bring you out for this 10-day tour of out here, and we're gonna put the IWGP belt on you. And I was like, man, dude, now you're just. It's like they were enticing me to get over there. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, I always wanted that belt. I was pissed.
Yeah. You know, you said he wasn't an athlete.
Nope.
You know, he wasn't in your league.
No.
Were those feelings was there like something going on just between the two of you, like a disagreement that morphed into something more? Or were those your true feelings? And if so,
at the time, yeah.
Do you, when you look back at it now, do you regret saying those things because you didn't mean them, or do you really? I mean, do you mean everything you said?
Yeah, no, everything I say, I mean. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's an athlete, but at the same time, like, he'll tell you he's not an athlete. You know what I mean? Like, but he's good. He's a good entertainer. He's good at what he does. You know what I mean? Like, we have different ideologies of wrestling, and you know what I mean. And I'm not saying I'm right, he's wrong. He's wrong, I'm right. It's not my fault. Ring of Honor just didn't have a match for me at that pay-per-view when I was champion. That's their crappy booking. I didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, and then like the thing that really pissed me off, and me and Kevin have since talked, and he's apologized for. And I said things that were out of line too, and he did things that were out of line. We've apologized. You know what I mean? Like, you know, right? Temper's definitely got flair. You know what I mean? And like, you know, I love Kevin, man. And, you know, I don't want to hurt his feelings. You know, I think he's a good person. But like when he came out at the New York thing, you know what I mean? And like, it's funny as things go along, you find out like he was told to say those things, where I wasn't aware he was told to say those things about like he disrespected Kyle and Adam. You know what I mean? Like, those guys shouldn't even be in the main event. It should be just me and you. And it's like, dude, get over, but don't squash someone else to get over. You know what I mean? Like, don't. Ric Flair thought he was the best. Shawn Michaels thought he was the best. Bret Hart even said, if you go out there thinking you're anything less than the best wrestler in the world, you're in the wrong business, man. It's a business built on confidence. You know what I mean? And like, he's got that confidence and like that needed arrogance. You know what I mean? Because you need that, man. I mean, I'm saying he's an arrogant person. I'm saying he's got like, hey, I'm better than you, and I mean, I'm only going to get better. I should be the champion. Like, you need that, man. You really do, and he's got that, and he's got the skill to back it up. Joe Koff, these guys never called and asked me about it, never talked to me about it. They just called me the day before we were supposed to leave the television tapings and being like, hey, we can't have you on the tapings because all this negative press. I'm like, negative press? A couple of dudes? These are literally like 16-year-old kids on a Twitter. I never got a call from Joe, like, no vote of confidence, nothing. Just that, and I was like, now I know where we stand. Like, actions speak louder than words, and you guys definitely drew your line in the sand on that one. So I was like, okay, these guys don't have my back. You know, I'm just not the kind of person where, like, I don't believe in talking behind people's backs. I got something to say, I'm just going to say it to you. And you can love me or hate me, and that's fine. You know what I mean? So, you know, I do think it sucks. You know, and I don't agree with the company's ran. I don't have faith in you guys anymore. I feel like you guys, like, I don't even want to say the word betrayed. You know what I mean? But, like, I just, like, I don't, it's, you know, I don't trust you guys. I don't care to be there anymore. Like, I feel like you lost your heart. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. And like, the fans are the ones that really lose out. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I want to go out there and say goodbye and everything. And like, you know, and on top of that, it's the right thing to do. Okay, I know who you are. And I understand the people in the office just keep it quiet because we want to keep our jobs. And I get that. And that's respectable, man. Do what you guys got to do. And it's better that I'm not there. But I'm not that way. I believe in the old Ring of Honor. That's my stance on things, okay? So, if you really want to be successful, in my opinion, you need heart. And you lack that, and it's only a matter of time for the entire world to see it. Because one by one, guys are going to leave. And they're going to state their honest opinion about you. So, it's up to you, man. You can do what you want. I'm happy with the time I had there. I'm happy with the way I handled things. And I don't regret anything. So with that being said, like, I'm happy just to wash my hands and walk away. I have no regrets. Wish you all the best, but I have no desire ever to step foot in that ring again. And we were put into Billy Gunn's class, and that was really cool, man. Like Bill DeMont would always be there, and like, I'm a cool guy, man. And like Joey Mercury, you know what I mean, was down there training. Regal's down there a lot, and they're all cool, man. Like,
what we're gonna do right now is basically have a debate, so to speak, or a discussion where these two can say what they need to say to each other, and we hope that this will be civil, which we anticipate it will be, and we hope that they'll give each other a chance, to finish their thought, and then the other can respond.
You told me that I couldn't work both shows, Dragon Gate and Atlanta, because Dragon Gate was created to put ROH out of business. That was what was said.
I don't remember. I don't remember ever saying that.
Yeah, you did, and that was the biggest thing that caught wind to me, because then I had to go, and I vividly remember like seeing in the background, like, dude, how can you come here and work for a company that wants to put us out of business?
Number two, I just didn't trust the situation.
Right.
Because what if we did put you on the main event, and their show started 2 hours later, an hour late, or hey, we just happened to take a 1 hour intermission to sell merch or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, then we're setting ourselves up in a bad situation there, and I'm not going to know about it until whether this sounds like an asshole businessman or not. When you book somebody, it's an investment you're making, and we need to be able to make that money back, or else we're not in business. That's how business works. So that was a whole nother aspect to it. So technically, you looked me in the eye and you didn't lie to me, but I feel like you did. You know what I mean? I always hate it when people go, "Oh, you're bitter." It's like, go give 7 years of your life to something, 24/7. Messed up stuff in my personal life I'm not even going to get into that no one's ever going to know about.
Then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Davey,
I'm not asking you to pay me a bunch of money and do all these different things, but look, man, I'm just gonna end this with a little bit of reality, okay?